Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. जय राधे राधे, जय राधे जय श्री राधे, जय राधे राधे, जय राधे जय श्री राधे, जय राधे राधे, जय राधे राधे, जय राधे जय श्री राधे, जय राधे जय श्री राधे। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय, 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 हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, जय राधे राधे, जय राधे राधे, जय राधे जय श्री राधे, जय राधे जय श्री राधे, जय राधे जय श्री राधे.
Very nice. Thank you so much. Can we have someone sing any bhajan related to our drama? Anybody here who wants to volunteer to sing any bhajan related to our drama, which you have learned through GitaWise or outside of GitaWise? That's fine. Everyone, please turn on your cameras. Cannot see your, so I cannot see Krishna, Krishnendu. Okay, so I will sing Ramachandra Raghuvira. Do we have that song lyrics anywhere? I don't think GitaWise.org has it.
It's not in GitaWise.
It's not on GitaWise, right? Let me find and share the link. Or we can sing Raghupati. Is Raghupati Raghava on GitaWise?
No. It's on the old one, but not this.
Okay, so what we can do is you can go to GitaWise YouTube and then in that link I have, so let me share it. I have the lyrics of the bhajans in the Vaishnava bhajan link. To the playlists, and then I need view full playlist for bhajans. Sorry, I should have been prepared for this one. So we have Nandanandanashtakam, Raghupati Raghava, Radhe Radhe, Ramachandra Raghuvira. So let me click on this and see. Yeah, it's here. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen. Share screen and go to this one. Are you all seeing? What are you seeing?
Your entire screen.
Okay, now do you see the YouTube with the lyrics?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So here are the lyrics I'm going to sing. All of you, please try to learn the tune, and this will be the bhajan of the month. This is what month? This is January. So maybe till end of February we'll do this. Ramachandra Raghuveera, Ramachandra Ranadhira, Ramachandra Raghuveera, Ramachandra Ranadhira, Ramachandra Raghuveera Ranadhira, Ramachandra Ranadhira, Ramachandra Raghuveera Ranadhira, Ramachandra Ranadhira, Ramachandra Raghunatha, Ramachandra Jagannatha, Ramachandra Raghunatha, Ramachandra Jagannatha, Ramachandra Mama Bandho, Ramachandra Daya Sindhu, Ramachandra Mama Bandho, Ramachandra Daya Sindhu, Ramachandra Mama Bandho Daya Sindhu, Ramachandra Mama Bandho, Ramachandra Mama Bandho Daya Sindhu, Ramachandra Daya Sindhu, Ramachandra Ramachandra Raghuveera, Ramachandra Ranadhira, Ramachandra Raghuveera, Ramachandra Ranadhira, Ramachandra Raghuveera Ranadhira, Ramachandra Ranadhira, Ramachandra Raghuveera Ranadhira, Ramachandra Ranadhira, Ramachandra Raghunatha, Ramachandra Jagannatha, Ramachandra Mama Bandho, Ramachandra Daya Sindhu, Ramachandra Mama Bandho Daya Sindhu, Ramachandra Mama Bandho, Ramachandra Mama Bandho Daya Sindhu, Ramachandra Daya Sindhu, Ramachandra Raghuveera, Ramachandra Ranadhira. What happened? This is a different one, right? I think it's playing, that's why it's doing that. Ramachandra Raghuveera Ranadhira, Ramachandra Ranadhira, Ramachandra Raghunatha, Ramachandra Jagannatha, Ramachandra Mama Bandho, Ramachandra Daya Sindhu, Ramachandra Mama Bandho Daya Sindhu, Ramachandra Daya Sindhu, Ramachandra Raghuveera, Ramachandra Ranadhira. All right. Let's somebody share the screen and do the prayer, please. Lead the prayer, and all of us will do it on mute. Akhil, Karthik, and Krishna, we need your cameras turned on. If your cameras are not turned on, I'll have to remove you all from the class. Someone other than Saman, you please share the screen. Okay, Shri, thank you.
Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nandagopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha Namo Pankajanetraya Namo wait, one second. Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nandagopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha Namo Pankajanabhaya Namo Pankajamalini Namo Pankajanetraya Namaste Pankajangrahe Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavareshwari Vrishabhanu Devi Pranamami Hare Priye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhobhya Eva Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Thank you, Shri. Now we will do a Sikshashtakam. So somebody needs to share, and then you all take turns by reading two verses of Sikshashtakam and two what you call translations too. So go ahead and get started soon. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Nobody is waiting on Samani or Shri to share the screen, right? Is it a big task to share the screen? Is it like a big load to carry and then move it from one place to another? Why is it that we not proactive in sharing the screen? Do you all have the link for GitaWise website?
I do, Auntie. I'm like sharing it right now.
Yeah, go ahead. Don't wait for others. You all are supposed to be leaders. Leaders meaning they don't wait for others to respond or do things. Leaders lead by example. Go ahead. Somebody starts reading now.
Cheto Darpanamarjanam Bhava Mahadavagninirvapanam Shreyaha Kairava Chandrika Vitaranam Vidyavadu Jivanam Anandam Buddhivardhanam Pratipadam Purnamritash Padanam Sarvatmasnapanam Param Vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam Nam Akari Bahuda Nija Sarva Shaktis Tatrarpita Niyamita Smaranena Kalaha Etadrishi Tava Kripa Bhagavan Mamapi दुर्दैवम् ईदृशम् इह नानुरागः
त्रेणादपि सुनिचेन तरोरपि सहिष्णुना आमानिना मनदेन कर्तनीय सदा हरि न धनं न जनं न सुन्दरीं कवितां वा जगदीश कामये मम जन्मनि जन्मनीश्वरे भवताद्भक्तिरहितकीर्तये आनन्दतनुजा किङ्करं पतितं मां विषमे भवाम्बुधौ कृपया तव पादपङ्कज स्थितधूलिसदृशं विचिन्तय नयनं गलदश्रु अश्रुधारया वदनं गद्गदरुद्धया गिरा पुलकैर्निचितं वपु कदा तव नामग्रहणे भविष्यति
युगायितं निमेषेण चक्षुषा प्रवृषायितं शून्यायितं जगत्सर्वं गोविन्दविरहीनमे आश्लिष्य वाग्पादरतां विनस्तु माम् आदर्शान् मर्महतां करोतु वा यथा तथा वा विधातु लम्पतो मत्तानतस्तु स एव न पराः.
Everyone also please try to read. I'm not seeing everybody reading along. Otherwise, we will never get the pronunciation, right? We have to read along at least when we're doing in the class. Okay, keep going. You can do the last one too, Sanvi.
Like Prabhura Shikshastaka Shloka Ye Pade Sune Krishna Prema Bhakti Tara Bhate Dine Dine.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. All right, now please others read the translations. Those who didn't do the verses, please do the translations. Quick.
Glory to the Sri Krishna Sankirtana, which cleanses the heart of all the dust accumulated for years and extinguishes the fire of conditional life, of repeated birth and death. This Sankirtana movement is the prime benediction for humanity at large because it spreads the rays of the benediction moon. It is the life of all transcendental knowledge. It increases the ocean of transcendental bliss and enables us to fully taste the nectar for which we are always anxious.
O my Lord, your holy name alone can render all benediction to living beings, and thus you have hundreds and millions of names like Krishna and Govinda. In these transcendental names, you have invested all of your transcendental energies. There are not even hard and fast rules for chanting these names. O my Lord, out of kindness, you enable us to easily approach you by your holy names, but I am so unfortunate that I have no attraction for them. One should chant the holy name of the Lord in a humble state of mind, thinking oneself lower than the straw in the street. One should be more tolerant than a tree, devoid of all sense of false prestige, and should be ready to offer all respect to others. In such a state of mind, one can chant the holy name of the Lord constantly.
Almighty Lord, I have no desire to accumulate wealth, nor do I have desire to be beautiful women, nor do I want any number of followers. I only want your causeless devotional service birth after birth.
O son of Maharaja Nanda, Krishna, I am your eternal servitor, yet somehow or other I have fallen into the ocean of birth and death. Please pick me up from this ocean of death and place me as one of the atoms at your lotus feet.
O my Lord, when will my eyes be decorated with tears of love, flowing constantly when I chant your holy name? When will my voice choke up, and when will the hairs of my body stand on end at the recitation of your name?
O Govinda, feeling your separations, I am considering a moment to be like 12 years or more. Tears are flowing from my eyes like torrents of rain, and I am feeling all vacant in the world of in your absence.
So when you're reading, please try to understand the meaning also. That way you get into the mood of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Okay, there are two more. Who didn't do yet? Keep going.
I know no one but Krishna as my Lord, and he shall remain so, even if he handles me roughly, by his embrace for making me broken-hearted by not being present before me. He is completely free to do anything and everything, for he is always my worshipful Lord, and unconditionally.
Everyone went, is it? Akhil, you didn't go, right?
If anyone recites or hears these 8 verses of instruction by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, is ecstatic love and devotion for Krishna increased day by day.
All right. Thank you, all of you, for doing the verses and the sans translation. Now let's go to the chapter 5 of Bhagavad Gita. It should be in the same website. Yeah. And which verse are we doing now? Sanvi, do we know? Do you know?
I don't know.
Okay, try to figure out
think.
based on what we read last year, last class. You were here for last class, right?
Yeah.
What do you think we did last class?
Year 14.
Let Sanvi answer.
I don't remember exactly, but I think we're around here.
15?
Yeah.
Okay. Is that right, Samanu? Or did we finish 15? I thought we finished 15, right? Because we finished the city of 9 gates. Go up a little bit. That was in 13th verse. Is it 9 gates? Oh yeah, we finished. That is in 13th verse. Yeah. So let's do 15. Somebody repeat after I lead, okay? Nadatte kasyachit papam.
Nadatte kanchatis papam.
Nachaiva sukritam vibuhu.
Nachaiva sukritam vibuhu.
Agnani navritam gnanam.
Agnani navritam jnanam.
Tena muhyanti jantavaha.
Tena mufyanti jantavaha.
Why is everyone not repeating? I don't see everybody's repeating. I want everybody to attentively repeat. The time that we spend in learning the pronunciation of this word should be spent equally by everyone. Each one of us has to repeat. I want to see that happening. And then only one person is having it unmute, be speaking loud, but all the others will stay on mute, but repeat, okay? Now, Krishnendu, go ahead and lead, and someone else will repeat.
Nadyate kasyachit papam.
Nadatte kasyachit papam.
Nachaiva sukritam vibuhu.
Nachaiva sukritam vibuhu.
Agnani nanipitam jnanam.
Agnanena vritam jnanam.
Tena mufyanti jatanvaha.
Tena muhyanti jantavaha. Nadatte kasyachit papam.
Nadate kasyachit papam.
Nachaiva sukritam vibuhu.
Nachaiva sukritam vibuhu.
Agnanena vritam jnanam.
Agnanena vritam jnanam.
Tena muhyanti jantavaha.
Tena muhyanti jantavaha. Nadate kasyachit papam.
Nadate kasyachit papam.
Nachaiva sukritam vibuhu.
Nachaiva sukritam vibuhu.
Agnane vritam jnanam.
Agnanena vritam jnanam.
Tena muhyanti jantavaha.
Tena muhyanti jantavaha. Nadate kasyachit papam.
Nadate
Kasyachit papam.
Nachaiva sukritam vibuhu.
Nachaiva sukritam vibhu.
Agnanena vritam jnanam.
Ajnanena vritam jnanam.
Tena muhyanti jantavaha.
तेन मुह्यन्ति जन्तवः नादत्ते कस्यचित् पापं
नादत्ते कस्यचित् पापं
न चैव सुकृतं विभुः
न चैव सुकृतं विभुः
अज्ञानेन वृतं ज्ञानं
अज्ञानेन वृतं ज्ञानं
Ishan and Akhil have to repeat too. So please look at the screen where the verse is and repeat, please. Repeat meaning you're on mute though. Okay, I want to see you all repeating it. There. Akhil, are you also with us? Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
It's right. तेन मुह्यन्ति जन्तवः
तेन मुह्यन्ति जन्तवः नादत्ते कस्यचित् पापं
नादत्ते कस्यचित् पापं
न चैव सुकृतं विभुः
न चैव सुकृतं विभुः
अज्ञानेन वृतं ज्ञानं
अज्ञानेनावृतं ज्ञानं
तेन मुह्यन्ति जन्तवः
तेन मुह्यन्ति जन्तवः नादत्ते कस्यचित् पापं
नादत्ते कस्यचित् पापं
न चैव सुकृतं विभुः
न चैव सुकृतां विभुः
अज्ञानेनावृतं ज्ञानम्
अज्ञानेनावृतं ज्ञानं
तेन मुह्यन्ति जन्तवः
तेन मुह्यन्ति जान्तवः नादत्ते कस्यचित् पापं
नादत्ते कस्यचित् पापं
न चैव सुकृतां विभुः
न चैव सुकृतं विभुः
अज्ञानेनावृतं ज्ञानं
अज्ञानेनावृतं ज्ञानं
तेन मुह्यन्ति जान्तवः
तेन मुह्यन्ति जान्तवः नादत्ते कस्यचित् पापं
नादत्ते कस्यचित् पापं
न चैव सुकृतं विभुः
न चैव सुकृतं विभुः
अज्ञानेनावृतं ज्ञानं
अज्ञानेन वृतं ज्ञानं
तेन मुह्यन्ति जान्तवः
तेन मुह्यन्ति जान्तवः नादत्ते कस्यचित् पापं
नादत्ते कस्यचित् पापं
न चैव सुकृतं विभुः
न चैव सुकृतं विभुः
अज्ञानेन वृतं ज्ञानं
अज्ञानेनावृतं ज्ञानं
तेन मुह्यन्ति जान्तवः
तेन मुह्यन्ति जन्तवः नादत्ते कस्यचित् पापं
Is everyone done? नादत्ते कस्यचित् पापं
न चैव सुकृतं विभुः
न चैव सुकृतं विभुः
अज्ञानेनावृतं ज्ञानं
अज्ञानेनावृतं ज्ञानं
तेन मुह्यन्ति जन्तवः
तेन मुह्यन्ति जन्तवः. Anyone who can do it without seeing? Yes, Saman, you close your eyes and tell us.
नादत्ते कस्यचित् पापं न चैव सुकृतं विभुः अज्ञानेनावृतं ज्ञानं तेन मुह्यन्ति जन्तवः.
Awesome, good job. Anyone else wants to try? Did you memorize it here only, Samanyu, or was it there before, from before?
I did this verse, this chapter for the verse recitation, so it's easier for me to
Oh, yeah,
memorize.
okay. Anyone else wants to try?
I'll try, but I don't know if I can.
It's okay, it's fine.
नादत्ते कस्यचित् पापं न चैव सुकृतं विभुः अज्ञानं वृतं जन्तवः तेन मुह्यन्ति अज्ञानेन वृतं ज्ञानं तेन मुह्यन्ति जन्तवः.
Good job, very nice. Third line, little bit correction with agnanena vritam. That's it. Okay, good job. Who wants to try?
Could I try?
Yes, please. Close your eyes.
नादत्ते कस्यचित् पापं न चैव सुकृतं विभुः अज्ञानेन वृतं ज्ञानं तेन मुह्यन्ति जन्तवः.
Awesome, very nice started. Who wants to try? You want to try?
Yeah, I'll try.
Okay.
नादत्ते कस्यचित् पापं न चैव सुकृतं विभुः अज्ञानेनावृतं ज्ञानं तेन मुह्यन्ति जन्तवः.
Very nice, good job. Anyone wants to try? Okay, at least one line. Close your eyes and tell us one line. Then second person will the other line. It's work out to your brain. Do you all have to memorize anything at school? Anything like this? Memorization is there, or you just write it out of what is that called? Free text? What is that? There's nothing to memorize in school? No?
Some things we have to memorize, but they give us like a sheet. If we're like doing math, then
Mm-hmm.
they'll give us formulas to use, but we just have to use it. There's no like specific.
Memorization.
Yeah. I mean, if there's like a specific way that the teacher teaches us, we might have to memorize that. But
Okay.
the original like I guess problem that you do is like you don't have to memorize.
But in science, like biology, chemistry, you don't have to memorize like the
Uh, in chemistry, you have to memorize the polyatomic ions, so like separate uh I don't know, but it's like you have to memorize some of the stuff.
yeah, like molecular formulas or equations, chemical equations, all those you have to know, right? At least not memorization, but little bit memorization is there, right? Okay. Anyways, if it is not there, good news for us here, because here we're doing memorization, something which you don't do at school. So you are mastering some skill here, which is not redundant. So memorization here is that's beautiful. Krishna, is that painting on the wall something drawn by y'all, or is it something which you purchased?
My mom painted it.
Oh, Krishna. Wow. It's amazing. Okay. So memorization is very important because it will strengthen your brain. So keep that in mind and try to be active and try to memorize. So Akhil, next week, please memorize this verse and recite to us without seeing. All of you who didn't do in the class now, please memorize this verse the whole week and come back to us and recite. Is that okay? Okay, let's go to the translation now. So translation, continuation with what Krishna spoke last class, last verse. So he talked about the city of nine gates and how one gets impacted by the changes that happen and they're bewildered because they are ignorance. Then Krishna is, no, go up, go further up. This is okay. The embodied spirit, the master of the city of this body, does not create activities, nor does he induce people to act, nor does he create the fruits of action. All this is enacted by the modes of material nature. So, how the soul was the master of this body, we all know that, right? So the real master of this body is the soul. However, since we identify with this body, we start thinking that I am the doer, right? Isn't it? How many times do we think I am the doer? Many times, right? And when we fail, we think that, oh, it's because of me, I did this. So here Krishna is saying that this is all under the influence of material nature, that our mind and the intelligence and the false ego get influenced and do it. But the soul actually doesn't do it. Soul is apart, it's aloof from this entire material nature. However, we have not identified ourselves with the soul. We have identified with this body, therefore we think that we are the doer. So it is important that for us to um, retain this point that Krishna is mentioning, not only here in this chapter, but also he started saying this from chapter 2, where Krishna says, you're not this body, you're the spirit soul. But for us to remember and retain this point, we have to contemplate on it. We have to remind ourselves of this point, because if we are continuously 24 hours doing things which does not remind us of this point, then there is no way we can think that we are not the doers. We are not the doers of wrong things, not the doers of the bad things, but under the influence of material nature, it is happening. Therefore, I should be conscious of this fact and therefore not indulge too much into or not own too much about the activities that we do. Because as I said, sometimes even bad things happen, even though we don't intend those things to happen. Correct? For example, I always give this example about I want to do gardening and I do with the best intentions. I collect the seeds, I sow them, and I wait for the rains and I wait for the perfect weather. Of course, you should not be a fool and try to go and sow seeds in this weather. But you try to make sure that it is appropriate weather. But despite all that, sometimes the seed might not sprout to a plant, which is beyond our control. So you should not think, oh, I didn't do something, or should not beat ourselves up. There are some things which are out of our control and which we do not have to own all those. So we have to be conscious that there are things which are not in my control, and I do this to the best of my capacity, but I'm not responsible for the outcome. In the same way, Krishna continues in today's verse. At the same time, go down. Nor does the Supreme Lord assume anyone's sinful or pious activities. Embodied beings, however, are bewildered because of the ignorance which covers their knowledge. So go to the website called vedabase.org, and then we'll read the purport that Srila Prabhupada is given. So Krishna is saying neither the spirit soul, the individual soul, nor the Paramatma. There are two entities living inside this body. Who are they? Our soul and ourselves, and also Paramatma. So it's neither the soul nor the Paramatma that are responsible. However, the false identification with this body under the three modes of material nature that makes us think that we are the doers. Yeah, go to chapter 5 of Bhagavad Gita. Then down there. No. Click that link, and then Bhagavad Gita book you can see, right? Yeah, click on the Bhagavad Gita book and go to chapter 5. And then go to verse which we read today. And let's open okay. Okay, let's go to the translation or the purport. The Sanskrit word Vibhu, there's word Vibhu in this verse, right? That we read. Means the Supreme Lord is full of unlimited knowledge, riches, strength, fame, beauty, and renunciation. This we already knew, right? Lord is called Bhagavan. Who is Bhagavan? Bhagavan is the possessor of 6 opulences. Bhaga means opulences. Van means possessor. And Bhagavan is possessor of these 6 opulences, which are knowledge, richness, strength, fame, beauty, and renunciation. And is also referred to as Vibhu. Vibhu is another word for Bhagavan. And he is always satisfied in himself, undisturbed by sinful or pious activities. So Lord does not get disturbed by us doing bad things or good things. That's why he's called renunciant, the topmost renunciant. When we are attached to somebody, when we think somebody is our person, if it's a relative, our parents, our siblings, we are disturbed whenever they do something wrong. And wrong meaning, if they do something wrong, we are disturbed. And when they do something good, we are excited and elated, right? However, Supreme Lord, though we are all his children, right? We're all the Krishna's children. However, he's detached because he has put us in this framework. What is this framework made of? Does anybody know what this framework is made of?
Three modes.
3 modes of material nature. And of course, you have this material body. Of course, that is also contributed by 3 modes of material nature. So this framework has made of 3 modes of material nature. And once a soul comes into this framework, they're under the influence of the framework. Just like if you, I don't know if you have been to that museum in Washington. There's a museum where if you get inside that, there's one station where you get inside that, you start floating there because there the gravity experiment is being done and how it feels when you're on the moon. Moon, the gravity is lesser than on Earth, right? Is that right or wrong? So what happens to a person who is on the moon? He is not going to be weighed the same as he's weighing on Earth. That's the framework there. That's the system. That is the setup over there. This is the setup over here. But the entire material creation, whether it's the moon, the sun, or Earth, or any other planet, they might vary in the gravity and other things, temperatures, the other physiological things that are there, the geography and all. However, they're all under the 3 modes of material nature. So as soon as you go on the moon, you are influenced by it. So that is something which is explainable or perceivable or visible to us. But the 3 modes of material nature are not visible. They're acting on us, and the way we respond, the way we are reacting to a situation is actually under the influence of material nature. That's why it's very important that we always choose to be in the mode of goodness. Because in the mode of goodness, we are in the very calm, peaceful, we're not judgmental, we are feeling that bliss, we are very stable, mind is feeling not disturbed. All those happen in the mode of goodness. That's why it's recommended that students should be studying early in the morning, which is considered in the mode of goodness time. We should be consuming food, which is in the mode of goodness, which helps us our mind, which calms our mind, which will help us think in the mode of goodness. Because if we eat food which is in the mode of passion or ignorance, then our responses to situations or reactions to situations will be in the mode of passion, where you're angry, you're very attached, you're feeling very agitated. See, all these are happening in the mode of passion. In the mode of ignorance, you're feeling so dull headed, you're feeling lazy, you're feeling sleepy, you're feeling tired. So that's why it's very important that we choose the mode of goodness in the association that we keep, in the food that we eat, in the time that we choose to do activities that are really important for us, like studying, like doing spiritual activities. Spiritual activities, though it is said that you can do it any time of the day, the benefit of that is maximum when we do early in the morning in Brahma Muhurta. Right? So we are under the influence of material nature. However, Krishna, he is seeing us being under the influence of material nature, but he's saying, it is said here that he is not disturbed by our sinful or pious activities. He does not create a particular situation for any living entity, but the living entity, bewildered by ignorance, desires we put into certain conditions of life, and thereby his chain of action and reaction begins. So once a living entity has thought, I want to lord it over, I want to be independent, or I want to do things by myself, I want to be the master. That's why now in leadership, the new term that has been introduced, a very powerful term, is servant leadership. So we can be master, but not the master who wants to be served. A master who wants to serve and get served, or teach, even inspire others to serve. If the leader does not serve, or the leader does not take up any responsibility, then what is the chance that the followers will be inspired to do? This good nature, good qualities are so contagious that if you're constantly associating with inspiring people, you want to become like them, you want to do like them, you want to be inspiring like them. That's why we should choose to do activities, first of all, in the mode of goodness, and also good in the mode of goodness and all good activities. So here Krishna is saying that the purport Prabhupada is saying that Krishna does not create activities that are responsible for our. Sometimes when we have bad situations in our life, we start blaming. Of course, at our age, when we're young, we start blaming our parents, or we start blaming our people around us, isn't it? Oh, he did that. If not for him, I would have done this project well. If there's a group project, and if we fail in the group project, then we start thinking about how others, if they had done well, my project would have been successful. Isn't it so? Don't we think like that many times? Have you ever thought, oh, I should have done this better? I could have fixed myself, or I could have done a little better in this? Because only that is in our control. Is it in our control to fix others? Or are we responsible to fix others? Are we their parents? Are we there? So the best thing is to think about how we can fix ourselves. So here Krishna is not interfering with anybody's situations in life. It is because of our own actions that we're incurring or getting the reactions of our actions in the past. That's why it's very important that, yes, there's no control about what we did in the past. From this moment, I have the option, I have the control about the choices I make. Yes or no? From this moment. Yes, past, I didn't know, I by mistake or by the under the influence of material nature in the mode of ignorance or passion, I made the wrong choices, and because of which I'm getting the reactions. That's fine, but I can stop it by from this moment choosing to make the right choices. So Krishna is in no way responsible for whatever things are happening in our life. We are put into this framework, and we are subjected to the rules and regulations of this framework. Just like if we are going on the road, and then if you don't stop at a red light and you get a ticket for that, would you say that the county officer is responsible for you to get the ticket? We wouldn't say. That's only a fool who will say that. We will say, we will clearly know that it is because I jumped the red light and I got this ticket. But in our life, some things might not be visible as to what we did wrong in the past. We might forget what we did. We might have forgotten what wrong we did in the last week itself because of we were under the influence of the mode of material nature. Therefore, we didn't even think we did wrong, but it was wrong, or it was something which I was supposed to get a reaction. And therefore, things are happening the way in our life. But Krishna is not responsible. Then what's the next line? I'm trying to do between the two screens. I'm losing. Can you scroll up? Up. Yeah. A living entity is by superior nature full of knowledge. Nevertheless, he is prone to be influenced by ignorance due to his limited power. The Lord is omnipotent, but the living entity is not. You all understand this, right? What is omnipotent? Someone is Googling. Yeah, let us know. Potent, capable of doing anything, right? Lord is capable, or his...
Yeah. Omnipotent, the dictionary definition is of a deity having unlimited power or able to do anything.
So unlimited power to do anything, whereas we are not, isn't it? Does everybody accept here that we are not, we having unlimited power? We do not have unlimited power. Everybody accepts that? Okay. So we should be conscious of the fact that we are not all powerful, whereas Lord is all powerful. And then there's omniscient. What is omniscient? Spread everywhere? It's present everywhere, omniscient?
I think it's you know everything.
Conscious of everything. Omniscient is knower of everything. And omnipresent is present everywhere. Yeah. So Lord is omnipotent. Am I pronouncing it right? Omnipotent or omnipotent? What is it? Okay.
Yeah, I think you're saying it right.
Okay. So Lord is omnipotent, is omniscient, meaning aware of everything, or conscious of everything. For example, we are conscious of what is happening within our body, but we do not know what's happening within the bodies of others, or we do not know what's happening within the mind of others. Whereas Krishna is a Vibhu and is omniscient. He knows everything. Because he's living soul, he is a living soul. He has a capacity to desire by his free will. Who? The individual soul. Such desire is fulfilled only by omnipotent Lord. Omnipotent is the all-powerful. And so when the living entity is bewildered in his desires, the Lord allows him to fulfill those desires, but the Lord is never responsible for the actions and reactions of the particular situation which may be desired. So just like if when for the devotees, it is different here. There are two sets of people who are devotees and people who are not devotees. So when devotees are surrendered to the Lord prevents them from doing wrong things, or he does not give them things which are not good for them. But when non-devotees perform activities and desire things which are independent of Krishna, then Krishna satisfies them. He fulfills their desires, even if means that's harmful for them, because they have not surrendered up, they have not desired to be dependent on Krishna. So that's what Krishna is saying here, or Prabhupada is saying here. So that individual who has chosen to ask the various desires, Lord is never responsible for the actions and reactions of the particular situation which he may be desiring. Because in a bewildered condition is the condition where we are forgetful of the Lord and we're confused and desiring more and more material things. Because being in a bewildered condition, therefore, the embodied soul identifies himself with the circumstantial material body and becomes subjected to the temporary misery and happiness of life. The Lord is the constant companion of the living entity as Paramatma or the super soul, and therefore he can understand the desires of the individual soul as one can smell the flavor of a flower by being near it. Is it flavor or fragrance? You all with me?
It's fragrance.
Okay. Desire is a subtle form of conditioning for the living entity. The Lord fulfills his desire as he deserves. Man proposes and God disposes. The individual is not, therefore, omnipotent in fulfilling his desires. The Lord, however, can fulfill all desires, and the Lord, being neutral to everyone, does not interfere with the desires of the minute independent living entities. However, when one desires Krishna, see, here where Krishna is, when one desires Krishna, the Lord takes special care and encourages one to desire in such a way that one can attain to him and be eternally happy. So the key point over here is that this material nature is going to let us slip down and down and down and fall down as long as we do not depend on Krishna. But the moment we remember, hey, this material nature is a framework and it has certain rules and regulations, and if I am forgetful of Krishna, this is designed for me to fall down. But if I remember Krishna and if I desire for Krishna, the same material nature can be used to climb up and go back home. It's just like if you're in quicksand. You all know what quicksand is? What happens when somebody falls into quicksand? I hope none of us had the experience of being in quicksand, but we know what it is. We have understood, or we have seen, or we have knowledge of what quicksand is. When somebody falls into it, what happens? The more he struggles, the more he moves, he or she moves, what happens?
They like sink.
They like sink more and more inside. However, they call out for help and look outside and hold on to something outside the quicksand. Then that person or the help pulls them out. So this material nature is like quicksand. If we think that, oh, I can figure out things by myself and I'm going to be independent and I'll try to do things by myself, and we keep on desiring, keep on doing wrong things, and then to cover up the wrong things, we do further wrong things, or without knowledge, we behave erratically, then just like in the quicksand example, we go and deeper and get lost. What does it mean, going deeper and deeper and getting lost in the material world? What does it mean?
You keep just getting more and more attached to the material world.
Yeah, we get more and more attached. That's fine. As long as with the human form, it is fine. But the consequence of us becoming more and more attached and ignorant and doing more and more karmic activities and activities that are in the mode of bad, which are not good, doing vikarma. Vikarmic activities is what happens. We choose the opportunity to be born as humans. And then we fall into the animal kingdom. And animals do not have the choice, or they cannot choose spirituality. They are not designed, they do not have the philosophical intelligence to choose spirituality. They have lost the option of choosing spirituality. Only in humans have the option or the choice of choosing spirituality. So that is called falling down into the animal kingdom. Are you all with me? I see some people doing something. I don't know if you're all listening to me or doing something else. I will not know. And that's the disadvantage of not being in in-person class. Otherwise, it's excellent, right? Like you all from the comfort of our home. If all of us are really paying attention and making the best of this session, online classes are not bad at all, isn't it? We're actually, in fact, saving time. You don't have to drive. You don't have to, driving is the only thing. Other things you still do. You take shower, you still get ready and sit in the class, but you don't have to drive. You don't have to depend on others to come here. So if we make the best of this online opportunity by listening and focusing on what we are discussing, then we don't have to come back to in-person classes. I'm keeping in mind some people who have to come from very far off. That's why I try to make this online. So we have to understand that only when we desire Lord, as Prabhupada is saying here in the last but fourth sentence or fifth sentence, he's saying when one desires Krishna, that's when Krishna will give them, he will change their desires to desire Krishna, and then so that they can go back him or attain him. The Vedic hymns therefore declare, Esha yuhi eva sadhu karma karayati tam yam ebhyo lokebhya unni nishate. Eshatu eva sadau karma karyati yam adho ninishate. The Lord engages the living entity in pious activities so that he may be elevated. The Lord engages him in impious activities so they may go to hell. So you know how the planetary system is created, right? How the entire, within the universe, how the various planets are arranged. You have the Brahmaloka, and then you have Janaloka, Tapaloka, Maharloka, then you have Swargaloka, and then you have earthly planet, which is Mahirloka, the earth. And then you have the hellish planets, Atala, Vitala, Sutala, Talatala, Rasatala, and Patala. All these planets below the earth are called, positioned below the earth are called the hellish planets. Hellish planets might have comfort and opulence, however, they do not have spirituality, the intelligence, and the mode of ignorance. So Krishna is saying that the verse from Vedic hymns are saying that one who does not, if one who's not desiring for Krishna, what happens? Krishna engages them in impious activities, not because he wants them to be impious. That is how they have chosen, and he lets them choose. Can we scroll down? Further down. See how nicely Prabhupada is giving references from other scriptures too. Prabhupada is not telling based on what he thinks. He's telling, hey, this is the summary, this is the expansion of this verse. This is the application of this verse based on the other reference scriptures too. So the verse that he's quoting from which Upanishad? Can you scroll up a little bit? I want to go to the Upanishad and then. Kaushitaki Upanishad. That's one of the Upanishads. It's saying the living entity is completely dependent in his distress and happiness. But the will of the Supreme, he can go to heaven or hell as the cloud is driven by the air. So, by the will of the Supreme, it's saying here. But first, what happens before the will of the Supreme? Our desire to be dependent on him. Because the first sentence here says, living entity is completely dependent upon his own distress. I mean, he's completely dependent for his distress and happiness. It's not the Lord. But when he desires to come out of these dualities, which are happiness and distress, what does he do? When one decides that I don't want to be under these dualities, what does one do? What should one do? Ashaya? Anybody knows? Venya, can you tell what should one do when we think that, oh, I don't want to be in these dualities anymore? What should one do?
I'm not entirely sure, but I feel like if it was me, I would probably try to focus more on like getting closer to God because it's really easy to get caught up in like daily life and forget what we're doing, what we're living for.
Right, that's the answer. Yeah. Thinking about turning toward God, just turning toward God. Think about God. Anytime we are disturbed, oh Krishna, I really want to be surrendered to you. I want you to now take charge of my life, and I want you to tell me what to do or inspire me what to do. Right? So, but we have to ask him. Without asking, he will not do that because of all the things that we possess, that we possess so many things in our life, which we think we have nice health, nice body, nice intelligence. We have our own room, we have parents, we have, as you grow and become adults, you have probably your own money, your own houses, your own cars. But none of them belong to us because at any time they can be snatched away from us. Right? With time, anything can happen anytime. But one thing always belongs to you and it is yours. What is that? One thing actually belongs to you. You are completely in control of that one thing, and that is your free will. What you choose to do. What you choose to do is always in your control. Nobody else controls for you, isn't it? Now you have to submit that free will to Krishna. So tell Krishna, I know my free will is under my control, but now I want to surrender to you. The moment we submit our free will to Krishna and express our connection or dependence on him, then Krishna will facilitate us with all the things that will take us closer to him. So as Venya said, she will get closer to Krishna, meaning she will think about Krishna more. Closer to Krishna doesn't mean you have to leave your home and travel thousands of miles and go to Vrindavan or Mayapur. Or of course, we can do that too whenever we can. But at this moment, getting closer to Krishna simply means think about him, sing his glories, read about him, hear about him. That's all. But we make a big deal even for that, right? We think, oh, that's huge thing for us because our mind cannot stay focused on this simple fact. What time is it? So, continuing with what Prabhupada is writing here, therefore, the embodied soul, by his immemorial desire to avoid Krishna consciousness, causes his own bewilderment. Consequently, although he is constitutionally eternal, blissful, and cognizant, due to the littleness of his existence, he forgets his constitutional position of service to the Lord and is thus entrapped by nescience. What is nescience? What is Google friend saying? Darkness? Ignorance?
The translation is lack of knowledge or awareness.
Nescience is darkness or ignorance. And under the spell of ignorance, the living entity claims that the Lord is responsible for his conditional existence. The Vedanta Sutras also confirm this. Vaishamya nairgrinye na sapik shatvat tatahi darshayati. The Lord neither hates nor likes anyone, though he appears to. So that is the summary of today's verse. Okay, now let's think about this, contemplate this. 9:45, I'm going to stop the class and let you all use the 15 minutes to write a summary of whatever has been discussed. Okay, let's go to the next verse. Or you want to do something else? You want to talk about Ayodhya? Shall we talk about Ayodhya? Do you all know what's happening tomorrow in India in a place called Ayodhya?
The temple is opening, the Ram temple, I think.
The Ram temple, which has been delayed considerably for many years, hundreds of years. The birthplace of Ram is Ayodhya. That city is called Ayodhya because one of Ram's ancestor named Ayudh was born there. Ayudh means one who's inconquerable. Yudh means war. Ayodhya is something which is inconquerable. And since Ayudh was born there, one ancestors of Lord Ram, that place is called Ayodhya. It is in Uttar Pradesh state. Is it Uttar Pradesh? Does anybody know?
Yeah, I think it's there.
It's in Uttar Pradesh. And at one time when Lord Rama was born and when Dasharat Maharaj was ruling, it was the capital city of a kingdom called Koshala. Koshala Rajya. Dasharat Maharaj was the king of Koshala Rajya and the kingdom's capital. Every kingdom has a capital. The capital city was Ayodhya and Lord Ram was born in Ayodhya. And Dashrath Maharaj was actually a Rajarshi. Rajarshi has two Sanskrit words. Raja means king, Rishi means sage. Dashrath Maharaj was both a king and a sage, one who ruled the kingdom with the wisdom of a sage. What does it mean to rule a kingdom with the wisdom of a sage? Can anybody expand on that?
Does it mean to lead a kingdom with having background wisdom and making sure that I don't know how to word it, but I feel like I kind of know what it means. But does it mean to still lead a kingdom not with violence but with wisdom?
Very nice. Yes. With the focus of the real goal of human life. Have a very sattvic life, simple life where people are content and also focused on the real ultimate goal of life. And Dasharat Maharaj was the one, the citizens of the kingdom during Dasharat Maharaj's rule were content, happy, doing simple activities, and always devoted. It's not like they had this advanced technology and they were so distracted with all the technological options and choices that we have that we're constantly doing something, thinking that we'll get happiness, but also agitated and never ever at peace, isn't it? So Dashrath Maharaj ensured that he ruled the kingdom in a way that the citizens were also very spiritually benefited. So in this place, over the years, it was conquered by, in the history of India, it was conquered by the Muslims, the Mughal emperors, and then there was um, a mosque built on top of this temple, because of which there were a lot of fights happening between various communities, which we don't want to discuss and go deeper. However, in the recent years, in 2019, the Supreme Court, after a lot of investigation, despite several conflicting situations happening across the country because of communal riots, because of religious and faith differences, and so many lives lost, which is actually foolishness in the name of God. If people are fighting to an extent where lives are lost, that is utter foolishness. Whoever does it, whichever community does that, it is simply foolishness. It is a disgrace in the name of Lord that anybody does. Right? However, all those incidents happen, and finally, when the situation was presented in Supreme Court as to research, and the community that wants to build the temple there asked and pleaded to research and give a solution to this problem, where we want to build a beautiful temple for Lord Ram in the land where Lord Rama was born, in the place where originally there was a temple. But there was no proof that there was a temple originally, because it was broken, that something else was built on top of it, and there was no proof. However, Supreme Court in 2019, upon research and investigation, found that when they dug in the land, they found remnants of the temple, which was dating from whatever age that Lord Ramchandra existed, or after Lord Ramchandra, because the temple was built after Lord Ramchandra. And there was proof of temple existing there. Therefore, it gave a settlement that yes, in this 2.77 acres of land, you can build a temple. However, since in between there was a mosque erected there, and we have to respect the another faith and community too, so we are going to still provide land for construction of a mosque in a different place in the same city. So after long turbulences, disturbances, and conflicts and fights, at last, this beautiful temple has been constructed, not with the money of any individual. It has been decided, of course, if many rich people in India could have contributed, but the government decided that it should be the property of the entire nation. So money was raised by reaching out to people across the country, and I think it is around 11 crores or something that temple was constructed. It has no iron or sand used in it. It is built completely of rock. It has 5 floors, and it is able to accommodate 100,000 people at a time to worship. Right? So it is a very big milestone, and welcoming Ram to the place that he was born is something which is very emotional and sentimental to the, should not say sentiment, it's very emotional and very valuable thing for the people who believe in Sanatan Dharma and who worshipped Ram as an embodiment of religiosity, of righteousness, of character, of integrity. Right? So it is time for all of us also to read more about Lord Ramchandra, read about this temple, the beauty of this temple. Don't worry about all the conflicts that happened and don't get into those, but read about the beauty of this temple that is being built. What is the technology used? How are they building? It seems this temple is built in such a way that even a major earthquake does not disturb it. That's how it's being built. And then to avoid conflicts in the future. What after 100 years? People still think, oh, this was built in the wrong place. This is supposed to be a mosque place. And people start fighting again, getting into this communal riots over this land. So to prevent and to avoid such things, they have put a time capsule with details of all the evidences that this is the place of Lord Ramchandra. This is the place of original temple of Lord Rama. So all those evidences have been documented and put in a time capsule, so that in future down the line, even if somebody who is bringing up these conflicts again wants to do it, there is no chance. There is evidence of that. So they have taken care of this temple and in all respects. So maybe next time when we go to India, we should plan to visit Ayodhya. On that note, I want to stop. Or you want to speak something, you all want to add some points or share something, that'll be nice.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Where is Ayutthaya located, like in India?
It's in a state called Uttar Pradesh. Is that right? Somebody said correct, right? Let me also check. Uttar Pradesh. Yeah, it's in Uttar Pradesh only.
Okay.
So if you Google, you will find the exact geographic location. So did you find something, Krishnendu?
I'm looking.
Okay. Anything else anybody heard about or want to share with us?